Yeah, so hi guys. A very dear friend of mine called me over the week, and then she was like, "Nah, you can't continue to make your videos in Akan. For the benefit of the international community, you need to make your videos in English language." So I don't know. Not really. I don't like speaking English language. Um, in informal settings, alright. Apart from the classroom, but then for the benefit of my friend, who is a very dear friend of mine, I think I would use the English language. So here is it. I live abroad with my 13-year-old son, okay? And an incident just happened that really got me thinking. So this morning, I received a letter. Here is it in a box, in a mail, and the letter was addressed specifically to my son, who is just about 13 years in seventh grade. Today is Tuesday, and they are about vacating on Thursday. And this is the content of the letter. I'm not read everything, I'll just read a part of it. It says, my son's name is Kweku Asari. So the letter says, Dear Kweku, we are writing to notify you of an important summer break opportunity for students in your area. In addition to taking time off from school, we have found that many students enjoy earning extra income and gaining experience over the summer. Our starting pay is $21. We work with students who have breaks ranging from 3 weeks to 3 months, and you do not need any experience to work with us. However, you must be 18 years or older and some other conditions. It tells you a lot about the company, where it was established, and blah blah blah. And then when you go to the very bottom of the company, there is a QR code. So I scanned the QR code, and trust me, guys, it took me directly to the company's website. And interestingly, on the website is my son's name. It took my son's directory, like my son's name, for him to input his details and so many other things so he could work with them. And this thing really got me thinking, like, wow, 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 wow. I know there are a lot of jobs here, okay, because almost every institution you go to, every company you go to, everywhere you go to, they have signboards and notices of we are hiring, we are hiring. But I never knew that it was this much. Why? Because I mean, I would have thought that right from the high school, middle school, high school, universities, these companies go out recruiting. But then where I grew up in our part of the world, okay, I mean, do we even have companies who target a certain group of people, like a secondary school student, graduates on vacation for them to come and work? This is really mind blowing, isn't it? And it is something that has really, really, really gotten me thinking. I keep asking myself, like the makers of this nation, what were their aims? Because everything else seems to be ideal, everything else seems to be in place. And again, it got me thinking about cases like the Deborah Seram and Douglas case, a young lady whom after university went to work at do national service at a bank, all right? And some of the directors were like, unless you sleep with us, unless we befriend you, we're not going to have you confirmed. How many other young ladies are falling prey to that? I remember when I completed secondary school back in 1996, I wanted to work because I was very curious, very active, very energetic, everything. And I started working from company to company looking for employment or something to do. I went to one company in my area, Medina, and I remember the accountant told me that, look, young lady, how much is your pay? Okay, become my girlfriend. I'm going to take care of you. How many other more young ladies are in such situations? Ours is a very pathetic case. I mean, from where some of us came from or were born, our countries, we have graduates. I mean, moving from office to office, begging, bribing, doing everything just to be employed. And yet, in this part of the world, the employers rather go about begging the students to come and work. It's very mind blowing. So, if my son qualified, all right, and he's to go and work with them, they were going to pay him $21 an hour. Imagine if he did 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. How much was he going to accrue before the end of the summer vacation? The summer vacation is about 3 months, so can you imagine? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm really, really, really surprised by this. I teach two classes here, all right? And I go to sometimes on Mondays, I'll ask my students, like, What did you do on a weekend? Or some of them are like, I work, I do this. And I got to know that about 90% of my first year university students are all workers. How many of us had that opportunity back in Ghana or back in Nigeria or any African country? Like, so serious. And yet our leaders don't seem to care. They don't seem to be bothered. They don't seem to be whatever. And I don't know. So I was just thinking that if such opportunities exist, okay, then why don't they settle our country so all of us will migrate and come and live in some of these places? Because it seems that nothing is working. Nothing seems to work. The other day I saw on is it Facebook or one of these social media platforms about police recruitment, army recruitment, and trust me, guys, these are avenues for huge bribery and corruption to take place because so many other people are going to buy these forms, and trust me, about 80% of them are not going to be recruited. And yet, in this part of the world, students and whatever it is are being chased. Imagine my son, the state recognizes that my son lives in this state and that they are even ready to give him employment. That is mind blowing, isn't it? Very, very mind blowing. And I'm truly, truly, truly impressed. I don't know, but maybe this discourse or this very topic might uh, come up with something else or something positive might come out of this. I don't see where it would take me. The other day I was telling a neighbor of mine that um, my son is really not up to the age where he could take the kind of employment. He was like, no, they have farms, they have other places you could go and clean small, get something. We're going to pay him. I didn't really believe it until I received this letter today. It's actually, trust me, mind blowing, surprising. I'm really impressed, and it really got me thinking. I don't know. I'm just reminiscing. Thinking out loud and thinking about the implications of all this. If secondary school graduate or middle school, high school graduate could earn $21 an hour, you can imagine. You can imagine. Thank you.